He wasn't supposed to be the story. Not this story. Jontay Porter was supposed to be the other Porter brother, the overlooked one, the underdog, the glue guy, the one who turned injuries into comebacks and bounced back harder every time. But a day before my birthday on March 25th, 2024, that all shattered. ESPN broke the headline.
All right, a developing story here on SportsCenter. Raptors forward Jontay Porter is under NBA investigation after multiple betting irregularities.
NBA investigating betting irregularities tied to Raptors Jontay Porter. The words didn't make sense, not at first. But what unraveled next was something straight out of a crime thriller. Fake injuries, millions wagered, suspicious activity across multiple games. And at the center of it all, a kid who'd already lost his dream once and wasn't about to lose it again. Most people know Michael Porter Jr., top high school recruit, NCAA sensation, now a key piece of a championship-caliber Denver Nuggets squad. But Jontay, he was the overlooked one, less athletic, less hyped, more injured. But inside the locker room, coaches said he was the smartest big man they'd ever seen. In 2017, Jontay reclassified to play with his brother at Missouri. He could have stayed another year in high school. Instead, he walked into the SEC as a 17-year-old and averaged 10, 7, and nearly 2 blocks per game. And when Michael went down with a back injury, Jontay stepped up. He wasn't the backup plan, he was the glue. But then the injuries came. First an ACL, then an MCL, then a second ACL tear.
Jontay Porter tore the ACL and MCL in his right knee, and he's out for the rest of the year. The injury happened.
He missed 2 straight seasons. In NBA terms, that's career death. By 2020, Jontay Porter was a ghost in draft conversations. From a projected first-rounder to underdrafted. From ESPN highlights to zero noise. No team wanted to bet on 2 bad knees. But Jontay, he wasn't done betting on himself. He rehabbed in silence, trained in the shadows, took the G League route, grinding through bus rides, empty gyms, and guaranteed nothing. The Memphis Grizzlies took a flyer on him. 2-way contract, limited minutes. Then came another setback, a re-aggravated knee. More months off, more doubt. He was cut again. Then the Raptors called, 2023 to 2024. A second chance. Not flashy, not guaranteed, but it was something. And behind the scenes, something else was building. A mix of pressure, anxiety, and depression. It started like any other game. March 20th, 2024, Raptors versus Kings. Nothing special on the schedule. But behind the box score, something was off. Jontay Porter logged just 3 minutes. He checked out early, citing an illness. But sportsbooks had noticed a surge in unusual betting activity, specifically on Porter unders, points, rebounds, minutes. Everything was bet to go low, and it did. But this wasn't the first time. Just 5 days earlier, Porter had subbed out in a game against the Suns after only 4 minutes. Again, citing injury. Again, massive bets on unders. And again, they cashed. One bettor reportedly turned a $10,000 parlay into over $80,000 across multiple states. Different books, same bets. Vegas noticed. The NBA noticed. And for the first time since the league embraced sports betting, they had a possible insider gambling scandal. And Jontay Porter was the thread unraveling it all. When the NBA launched its investigation, it wasn't just about vibes or fishy stat lines. They had data, they had text messages, and eventually they had receipts. Porter's phone painted a picture of something far worse than sloppy betting, encrypted group chats, multiple accounts linked to his IP address, betting slip screenshots sent before the games even tipped off. But the kicker? In one conversation, Porter allegedly told someone exactly when he'd sub out, and what quarter it would happen. One source close to the investigation said, it wasn't just that he bet on himself, it was how precise it all was, like it had been practiced. The league connected multiple flagged bets across at least 5 states to people linked to Porter personally or digitally. He wasn't just a player anymore. He was a leak, a mole in the machine. And in the post-POSPA sports betting era, that's not just unethical, that's federal. March 25th, 2024. It's official. Jontay Porter suspended indefinitely amid betting scandal. The NBA didn't sugarcoat it. This wasn't investigating. This was punishment. Swift, brutal, inevitable. The Raptors, silent. No statement, no press conference, not even a goodbye. Jontay Porter, just 24 years old, was yanked off the roster, pulled from the team app, and vanished like a glitch in 2K. Behind the scenes, executives scrambled. League officials worried about integrity. This was exactly the kind of scandal the NBA had feared when it partnered with FanDuel, DraftKings, and every sportsbook under the sun. And the fans, some called him greedy, some called him broken. Some called him the sacrifice of a league walking a dangerous line. One bad knee, 1 second chance, and one moment of weakness that torched it all. Jontay Porter didn't throw it all away for a payday. Not really, because this wasn't a story about greed. It was a story about feeling forgotten. For most players, the NBA is the dream. For Jontay, it was the second dream after rehab, after heartbreak, after every injury that told him you're not him. And when he finally made it back, he was still invisible. Two-way contract, G League back and forth. No endorsements, no mentions, just a name at the bottom of the box score. And that's where temptation lives. Not in money, in relevance, in knowing you still matter, even if the only way to matter is to burn the house down. The saddest part, he wasn't a villain. He was a kid trying to stay in the story, and in the end, he wrote one hell of a final chapter. He didn't bet on a game. He bet against being forgotten.